Okay, 5 years ago, you were wrong, and I was wrong for listening. You actually can deposit likes. What's up? It's Matt. I'm back to talk about something in a new series of videos we're calling Rants, where I call out the industry in my true voice, because I was recently told by a friend of mine, Molly Mahoney, that I've got the solid aspect of what I'm talking about, and I understand who I'm talking to, but I'm not being my genuine self. So 2015, a client of mine made a comment that changed the trajectory of our company forever. We've gone to new heights. And what he said was, he said, Matt, you can't deposit likes. And the conversation came up because we were talking about digital marketing in relation to their restaurants. You see, they were spending over $300,000 a year per location. I was spending it on their behalf: radio, TV, sports marketing, direct marketing, digital, you name it. Whenever we spent money on digital marketing, there was all these question marks. They weren't hardcore loving it. Nowadays, people are more acceptable of Facebook and text and email, but still, they're not completely acceptable. And in the restaurant space, people are not accepting enough of the true value of marketing, which is awareness. Is that you have to at some point accept and know that you have to have awareness long-term in your business to succeed. I actually heard a restaurant yesterday tell Luis on my team one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. We don't have a marketing and advertising budget. And he didn't say this. I might have said this. Do you have a moving and U-Haul budget? Because you're going to need to load a bunch of stuff up in the U-Haul and get out of town when you go out of business. Because you have to have a marketing budget. You have to have an advertising budget. If you're in the business of getting people to listen to you, to trust you to come eat your food, you have to market and advertise. So let's talk about today's rant. My goal is to do these weekly to really come out in my true color, that is being blunt, being honest. So awareness. So when Nick told me you can't deposit likes back in 2015, I called him on the carpet. And I said, I'm going to prove to you that we can prove this concept of depositing likes, because I want to show you how likes lead to engagement, engagement lead to a database. A database can come in your restaurant. Well, what that led us down, the rabbit hole that led me down, was not proving that you could deposit likes, but it was to proving that a database would walk in the restaurant and spend money. And then the next hurdle I came up with was, well, okay, how do I know they're coming back? I had a restaurateur in Columbus named Lenny that said, Matt, 1,100 people walked in my restaurant the last 4 months and spent money with us. These 1,100 people were built into an email and text database that you guys built from in-store marketing, email, text, and my website. How do I know they're coming back? Because all we're tracking is visit one. I said, let me ask you 3 simple questions. Does your food suck? And he looked at me kind of shocked, and he goes, you just ate it because I was in his restaurant. I said, I thought it was awesome. I'm just asking you if you think your food sucks. And he goes, well, no, of course not. I go, okay, we've accomplished that one. Number 2, does your service suck? I said, because honestly, I'm in the restaurant with the owner. I better get good service. He said, well, if you look at Yelp and all the other places, we're in the mid to high 4s. I said, cool, answers that question. Now, does the atmosphere suck? I'm looking around. I'm like, no, I love the place. It's really cool. It's got a great theme. It's got an atmosphere. It's got a place I would hang out at. I said, so Lenny, if your food doesn't suck, your service doesn't suck, and your atmosphere doesn't suck, why would people not come back? They wouldn't come back because your marketing plan is hope and pray. If your marketing plan is hope and pray, that means you hope Matt Plapp loved it, and you pray that next week when he's craving barbecue, that he comes back to your restaurant. I'm a proponent of aim and attract. You aim at a section of your database that you have their information, and you attract them to your restaurant, and you expect an outcome. Aim, attract, expect. Aim and expect is in my new book, Restaurant Marketing That Works. Not what we're here to talk about, though. We're here to talk about attention. Because if in 2015 I would have told Nick, you can deposit likes, use common sense, brother. 30,000 people last month watched the video on this month's beer. If 30,000 people watched the video on this month's beer and they consumed all that content, if we consistently get them to interact with our marketing, we get more attention, we get more reach, impressions, engagements, the business will grow. The problem is I didn't. I went down a path of saying, look, I can make this impression equal an engagement. I can make this engagement in a marketing campaign like a scan a QR code, a click a link, or a comment on a post lead to a database. I can make that database at 20 to 40% of them walk in the restaurant consistently. And now you're going to see the money from it. But here's the problem. When people see that, that's what they want to see every time. It's just like losing weight. A friend of mine 3 or 4 years ago was joining a gym that I'm a partner in, about 100 pounds overweight, over a 10-year period, had put their body through the trial and tribulations of life as an adult, Gold Star chili and Mountain Dew all the time, been there, done that, and wanted to lose weight quick. And I said, bro, took you 10 years to gain 100 pounds. It ain't taking you 2 weeks to lose it. You got a 2 to 5 year battle on your hands. Suck it up, get uncomfortable, lose the weight, be consistent. A month later, that cat wasn't in the gym anymore because getting uncomfortable isn't where they wanted. And also, once you have that first loss of 5 to 10 pounds and that becomes 1 pound, it's not going to happen. I'm done. Same with marketing. The minute we show a restaurant that awareness led to a database, that database walked in the restaurant, once those sales numbers that are provable aren't big enough, we're out. Marketing sucks, doesn't work. You guys know what you're doing. Oh, we know what we're doing. You just don't want to accept that you're not always going to see the outcome of everything you put in. And so that's where I'm coming at today. This is the first rant. It's awareness. And I'm going to talk about that. What, where, why, how, when. There's all the W's. What is awareness? Why do you have to have it? Pretty obvious, bro, so you're aware. Where do you get it? It better be on their phone. If you're not aware, if your customers aren't aware, I guess I should say, of you on your phone, they're not going to eat at your restaurant. So I was talking to a really well-respected marketing director not too long ago of a brand that I like, and we're talking about marketing, and I'm showing all the crap that I show in marketing, the engagements and the database and the redemptions and the sales. I'm all stoked. I'm showing him how great we're doing for their brand. And he goes, Matt, this all looks pretty cool, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. He's like, the only thing I care about is the front end part you showed me. You showed me that we had 40,000 impressions last month. And I know that we had probably about 4,000 impressions at that store this time a year ago. If I had 4,000 a year ago and I have 40,000 today, I don't need to be a genius to know that we're going to sell a lot more food. That people, if they're aware of our brand, if they know our brand enough to engage in it via messenger, text, email, Facebook, they are going to walk in our restaurant the more they see us. It's like Matt Plapp here. I see, Barleycorns is a restaurant I love in Northern Kentucky. I eat there all the time. Why? Honestly, it's not because of their marketing. It's because I drive by the freaking sign. That sign is awareness. But guess what? Walt's Hitching Post is another restaurant that I love in Northern Kentucky. I never drive by Walt's. I have no reason to go down there. It's not near my house, not near my work. It's only 10 minutes away. But if they did reach me via marketing, you'd bet your bottom dollar I'd be there more often. I use it in the book. I go there 4 or 5 times a year. I'd probably be there 15 to 20, maybe 30 to 40. And they'd have 6, maybe 7 figures in incremental profits because more mats came back more often. So now I'm going to talk about the who. Who gets you the awareness? Here's the problem that really happens a lot in small businesses that all of you need to do. You need to get out of your own way. A lot of restaurants are struggling to hire people right now. Yet they're paying themselves to do the marketing and they suck at it. Matt Plapp can make ribs pretty decent, not a bad steak. I'm killer at Lucky Charms. And my Pop-Tart game is on point. Nothing else. You know why? I go to restaurants. I eat out at places like the Colonial Cottage, like Barleycorns, Buffalo Wings and Rings, Walt's Hitching Post. I leave my food to the pros. You should leave your marketing to the pros. My son recently started working at a pizza joint. When he walked in the restaurant, they gave him a job of a beginner. prepping the pizzas, getting the pans, getting the dough stretched out. Pretty simple stuff. They didn't give him the menu and say, hey, Cole, we need you to really do some numbers here. Re-engineer our menu. We need to squeeze about 5 more points. Why? Because he's a 17-year-old just starting the restaurant business. Well, that's exactly what you're doing with the who on your marketing awareness. You're relying on an employee in the restaurant, maybe it's you, to be in charge of the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, the LinkedIn, the TikTok. Yeah, there's some things you should be involved with. You should be the creator of your content. You should be telling your story on a more consistent basis. But if you really, really, really want to get the right effect, you need to hire pros to get the awareness. I'm not saying pros like me, which I honestly am the best and my team's the best. I got no problem saying that. But there's plenty of pros in every city. Stop struggling to hire people to run your restaurant and then assign that same task to those people. I always tell a lot of my clients, and this actually came from our clients telling me this. One of our clients that owns a restaurant out in the Oklahoma City area, they have 2 Bahama Bucks, tells me all the time, Matt, Dennis is his name, your team is my part-time marketing department. He has 4 people on my team. He has an account manager. He has actually 5. He has an account manager, an analyst. He has an acquisition expert. He has a automation expert, and he has a retention expert. It cost him the same as it would my son working at his place part-time, $200 to $300 a week. And he's got experts. All that I'm telling you this last, 10 minutes or so, to talk about the importance of attention, the importance of getting attention, the importance of keeping attention, the importance of having somebody help you get attention. Because at the end of the day, if you get more attention for your restaurant, people will eat more often. If Matt Plapp drives by Barleycorns more often, I'm going to eat Doc-style wings more often. If Matt Plapp sees a text message from Walt Hitching Post ever, I will go there more often. So when you think about marketing your restaurant, I want you to think about it in a manner that you know. It's not that I have to get results tomorrow or next week or next month. It's that I have to be consistently getting in front of people more and more and more and more. And don't always have to have proof that everything happened. The only proof you need is knowing that you're getting attention on a consistent basis.